Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to our Zoom Kabbalat Shabbat for today. And first of all, before we have Kabbalat Shabbat, we're going to have a Devar Torah from Morris. So unmute yourself, Morris, and over to you.
Thank you. I'll just let somebody in here. Good evening. Most languages are, like English, written from left to right. Hebrew, like some other languages from the Middle East, most notably Arabic, are written in the opposite direction. No one knows for sure why this is, but scholars theorize that it has to do with the medium in which the language was originally written. Left to right languages are convenient for right-handed people writing in ink. By writing from left to right, the scribe avoids smearing what they have done. By contrast, scholars believe Hebrew was initially inscribed in stone. For a right-handed person, chiseling a tablet, it's most convenient to hold the chisel in the left hand and strike it with the mallet in the right, naturally progressing from right to left across the stone surface. The large blocky letters are also conducive to being rendered in simple, straight marks. By the time parchment and papyrus became the preferred media for writing, Hebrew script was already fixed. Writing from right to left makes Hebrew writing by hand a little bit more awkward than some other languages. Ask any right-handed sofa who will tell you that inking Hebrew scrolls can be a messy business. Nevertheless, since ancient times, Hebrew scribes have developed many beautiful versions of typefaces for sacred Jewish texts like the Sefer Torah and the Mezuzah scroll. Because these traditional styles are not conducive to writing quickly by hand, Hebrew also has a script just for handwriting. Incidentally, the contemporary Hebrew letters, which have remained largely unchanged for over 2,000 years, are not the original script of the language. An older Hebrew script called Paleo-Hebrew was used up until the Babylonian exile in the 6th century BCE, and in some contexts afterwards. That script was also written from right to left. As writing tools developed to include ink on parchment or a stylus on clay, scribes began to write from left to right so as not to smudge the letters. However, by the time this happened, Hebrew and other Semitic languages were already set in stone, so to speak. So they continued to write from right to left. Without getting into the accuracy of this answer, we know that way back when we were a fledgling nation, Moses wrote the Torah with ink and parchment, and the Torah scroll is written from right to left. So it would seem that there is more than just technological reasons for writing Hebrew from right to left. The third Lubavitch Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel, the Tzemach Tzaddik, explains that writing from right to left is in keeping with the general rule in Judaism that we give precedence to the right side. E.g., we put on our right shoe first, wash our right hand first. Once we've written the first letter on the extreme right of a parchment or page, we move to the next available space on the right side, which is also immediately left of the letter we've just wrote. So it happens that we're writing from right to left. The Tzemach Tzaddik adds that although there is another Talmudic rule, all turns you should only make to the right, which would seem to imply that we should write from left to right, so that we are moved towards the right. It only applies when one actually has to turn one's body. Why is this right side given precedence in Judaism? In Kabbalistic teachings, the right represents the attributes of chesed, kindness, and the left gevura, severity. Just as there is a general rule that the right takes precedence in Jewish life, so too, whenever faced with a situation where you need to decide between kindness and severity, kindness comes first. Arabic and Hebrew are the most widespread right-to-left writing systems in modern times. However, there are anomalies. For instance, mathematical expressions, numeric dates, and numbers bearing the units are embedded from left to right. Whilst the Hebrew alphabet is used to write Hebrew language, It's also used to write other Jewish languages, such as Yiddish and Ladino. Syriac and Median script are derived from Aramaic and are written right to left. Samaritan is similar but developed from Proto-Hebrew rather than Aramaic. Many other ancient and historic scripts derived from Aramaic inherited its right to left direction. Of the ancient scripts, Aramaic, Hebrew, Sumerian, Yazidi, to name but a few, at least 26 write from right to left. Akkadian is written left to right, as are other Ethio-Semitic languages. Direction of writing seems quite arbitrary. So why does we have to have a reason for it all? The reason why English is written from left to right is that our ancestors wrote from left to right. So the underlying question was, what was the direction of the first writings? Questions about Latin and Greek therefore have to defer to an answer about earlier Semitic writings, which in turn has to defer to the answer about Egyptian and Sumerian writings. Direction of writing can be variable and changeable over time. Egyptian was apparently and preferentially written right to left. The premise that writing started with inscriptions chiseled in stone is also extremely implausible and contrary to known fact. The two dominant media for ancient writings were clay and ink plus a surface. If you're right-handed, the majority of cases, it's easier to avoid smearing what you've just written if you write left to right. However, for those with right-handed dominanters, it is allowed the left hand to unfurl the scroll as the right hand was writing. The scribe held the unused portion of the roll in the left hand while writing with the right. The written portion fell by the right side of the body, and as writing progressed, the papyrus could be rolled up again as it began to unravel. The control using the right hand was very simple and sitting on the floor. However, tablet and stylus for Sumerian cuneiform differs in quite a large way from papyrus roll ink and read. 4 of the signs, as well as the material used, show that they were written with raised hands, and as we would predict, the horizontal lines ran from left to right. The tablets were palm-sized and were probably held in the left hand. This movement of true alphabetization was seen amongst the Phoenicians and the Canaanites and the Israelites and the Greeks. Reading and writing ceased to be the privilege of scribes and became accessible to all people, whatever their rank might be. A different and admittedly even more obscure explanation for right-to-left writing is that Abiad, a writing system which only consonants are represented, leaving the vowel sounds to be inferred by the reader, are contextual for readers, i.e., reading will depend primarily on pattern recognition rather than being a contiguous system as the modern alphabets are. Consequently, the types of script that require speed of feature recognition to establish appropriate contextual relationships, such as consonantial alphabets, will be read to the left of the visual field better than the right, while those requiring the speed of connecting the contiguous relationship of the sequence of characters will be read better to the right rather than to the left of the visual field. Personally, I think this is a fascinating and very, very murky topic. Thank you for listening. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you very much, Maurice. That was very interesting. Thank you.